Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines.
Yes, Between the Lines. Between the Lines, 15th of June, 2026. We're happy to be here on this new Monday, new starters, Between the Lines. My name is Godwin Iwejuwa, and facing me directly is, who's that man there?
Yes, this is George Chukwu, aka Bluetooth George, all the way from Toronto, Canada. We want to welcome our viewers to our Monday Between the Lines. So this is where you get your authentic stories, unadulterated, and that's how we give it.
That's how we get it, George. George, beautiful lines there. That's truly Between the Lines you just dropped. How are you, George? I know you were having it was a swell weekend, fun events, and that's what you do, cover events. How did you cover all of these events?
It was fantastic. It was amazing. A young man decided, a DJ among us, DJ Phil, decided to honor the parents. 80th birthday for the dad and the 70th birthday for the stepmom, and it was a fantastic event. But what added so much fun to it was Femi Oke, one of our members here that lives in London. He was here with me, and it was a fantastic event. And he was here. We had fun.
Nice. Yeah. Hopefully, one day we'll all be having the fun together.
Yes. It was incredible. It was amazing.
Good. Nice. But we didn't see pictures. We only saw one picture. We want to see.
I could have sent you. Yeah, I would have sent you some pictures. So
it's okay.
I thought that Femi did that too. So that's why I didn't send. Yeah, but it was a fantastic event though. So it was started event. All the who is who came out to have had about
Canada
4 DJs,
wow.
3 or 4 MCs, I was one of them, and so it was a fantastic event. The young man did very well for the family, and it was a full hall. More than 500 people attended.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, because people want to, George, one reason why people come out these days for social events is the world is full of stress, so people want to come out and, loosen up, release all those moments of tension and stress. So social events are always jam-packed nowadays, because of this.
They just want to have fun.
Everyone want to have fun. George, but some people are still not having fun in Nigeria. The insecurity is still not helping people have fun. Let's do some updates on the security issue in Nigeria. During the weekend, we had a retired general dying in the custody of the bandits, and we also just had yesterday another general that this one is actually still in service. He also passed on. Now, it's interesting when we say these things. Sometimes we begin to look crazy, as if what we're saying doesn't make sense. But it's crazy to know that we're still in the depth of insecurity in Nigeria. Government is making efforts, but I don't think the effort is tangible. And take note that Nigerians are not interested in the numbers of terrorists that are killed. Rather, they just want safety. People want to live safe, want to live at peace, safe, move around anytime, do your thing like you would do in any part of the world. So, George, let's hear some updates.
It's just incredible. Like when things like this happen, and then you begin to reflect on, what's really happening in Nigeria. The death of the retired general or major general is in custody, of bandits, okay, for several weeks. It's a damning indictment of Nigerian security architecture. If the individuals who once commanded troops and served in the highest level of national defense can be abducted and die in captivity, ordinary citizens have no reason to feel have reason to feel vulnerable. Just think about it. If a retired general who led troops, what confidence do we have? Statistics mean little when insecurity continues to disrupt daily lives and claim victims. Nigeria urgently needs a more intelligent driven technology backed and locally response security strategy to reverse this troubling trend. It is incredible. It's amazing. The more we report, the more is happening almost on a daily basis now. Yesterday, again, there was an adoption that took place in Edo State. Now, talk about the other places like Zamfara, 19 killed, and all those type of things. It is very troubling. It is very troubling. And when you say what you gotta say,
Hmm.
some people will come and say, "Oh, why are you talking bad about your country?" I was discussing with Femi, when he came to Canada, he looked at television and he saw, like a few number of people that was stabbed. One person was stabbed and another police officer was actually shot by a criminal. Now he was telling me, "Oh, look, is this not Canada and is it not happening?" I said, "Yes, it is happening." But yet, does that excuse what is really the thousands that are being abducted and killed in Nigeria? No. Every sovereign nation have their own issues, but how you solve that issue, how you come bring it to bring a solution to first so that people can feel safe. Look at what happened in Zamfara, for goodness sake. Where is our food basket? 19 killed. So what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about here?
So we need to
So,
really, really
George,
go
but
ahead.
the local security seems to be working. Also during the weekend, we had the Southwest Amotekun. Amotekun was able to apprehend 97 people that are related to this banditry thing, and but there was still some very terrible news coming from that corner too, because a monarch was kidnapped. While the Amotekun was doing their thing, 97 people apprehended. The monarch also of a community by that side was apprehended, was kidnapped. So I think that monarch is from Owo in Ondo State. He was abducted. So Amoteku is also telling us something. The Amoteku security arm of Southwest. They are saying that their findings lately shows that a large number of bandits have infiltrated into the forests of the South. And also, George, during the weekend, we heard a friend, you know him, Asari Dokubo, that the strong man, the man that claims to be a strong man in the South, he says that bandits, the ones that they were dislodged, the ones that were uh, rough handled. I mean that they scattered their place, their heaven, their place of abode. They are now moving towards southeast, southwest. This is the information, the intel we're getting, George. So and because people are arguing, because some people don't think it's a serious thing to talk about, it will be going, more will be happening. So when we come together in unity and say this is a real serious issue we're facing in Nigeria, I think we might begin to have a real strong headway and solution to it. George.
Yes, we are. I mean, Amatekun raises the alarm over movement in Ondo. And the thing is this: intelligence is supposed to tell us exactly the foundation of all these movements.
Mm.
You see, that's one thing we have been ignoring. For you to fight this insurgency, you got to find out exactly what is their modus operandi, what is motivating them to do what they are doing. Because they want to make Nigeria an Islam nation. And this is one of the things that they, they start teaching them these things from when they are young. So now all of a sudden they are actually making it more attractive for young people to join them because the government has been paying, people are paying. So it becomes a very profitable business for them to continue to do whatever they're doing. When you attack them in Zafara, they go to Ondo. When you attack them in Ondo, they go to other places because they have infiltrated the whole thing. When we were here arguing and laughing over, giving excuses in short over this whole situation, they have a strong hold in Nigeria right now, and they're systematically moving from one area to another. That's what Atsari Dokubo was saying. That if we are not careful, if we do not consider this as a war against these people, we are in trouble. But the point also is this: Nigeria military and Nigeria security system, they are very selective in the way that they are doing things. When you have a playing field to everybody to operate, if it becomes easy for you to now use local and local intelligence to get these people. But when you smile at one and laugh at another, look at what is going on. You bring in all these insurgent, this Islamic insurgents. You call them repentant. No, there is no consequences to their action. Why do you think more will not go in there? Why do you think more will not go in there? When you're calling them, oh, they're repentant, they have come back, we'll give them welfare, we'll give them a wife, we'll give them this, we'll give them, and most of the time, even intelligence is telling us that most of them are in the Nigerian military. These are people that are very friendly to the
George,
cause of this thing.
They're not only in the military, they are everywhere. You say that constantly.
I keep
you
on
say
saying
that,
it.
yes. But George, let's hold tight. Hold tight as we continue this strong discussion in security in Nigeria, because there are more revelations that we need to open up. Let's bring in one of our panelists, our coordinator from the United States, Professor Charles. I hope you can see us this time. Okay, I think it's still booting there. So George, you say this every time. I must give you that kudos. You are the one that keep pinpointing. You've always said they've infiltrated all arms of our society. They have their brothers, their uncles, and everything. Now, George, there's a politician. I know we've discussed this. There's a politician in Katsina State, a young politician that was an SSA to the governor of Katsina. He was caught as one of the bandits, the terrorists. Can you imagine?
You see? Do you see that?
Yes, honorable. I don't know why they use those honorable for these people. He's called honorable Aliyu. Aliyu is a terrorist. He works as a terrorist in the night and he comes to governor's office in the daytime. Now, what happened was when the people there was a child that was adopted. It was around May. Okay, let's bring in Professor Charles again. Professor Charles, I think you're muted. Your phone microphone is muted. Your video microphone. So Aliyu is okay. I think it's better now. Can you see us now, Professor Charles? We need to hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, I think it's still an issue there.
Yeah, you see, one of the saddest situation over this whole entire thing is this particular Major General was, he died.
He died.
But yet, listen to this though. How was it that after his death, within 24 hours to 48 hours of his death, the government was able to recover the body? But they're not telling us how the body was recovered. And then they immediately moved quickly to bury the man. There is no autopsy done because they're reporting that he died of natural causes without any autopsy. How is the government complicit in all of these things? I don't understand it. Why are they moving to bury this man so quickly? The family is coming out and telling, my dad never had any
Diabetes.
diabetes or whatever the
Diabetes.
case might be. And then I'm quite sure the government will try to mute these people's mouth. So there is so much intricacies and so many complicit nonsense
Mysteries.
going on, mysteries over
Mysteries.
this whole situation. Until we delve down and begin to open up both the people that are supporting the terrorists, those that are complicit, and expose them, this thing will continue to happen. It will continue to happen in our nation.
It will continue to happen in our
Yes.
nation.
Can you just imagine that?
Yes, Professor Charles, can you hear us? Can we hear you? Let's hear you say something.
Yeah, it's still muted.
It's still muted. Yes,
Yeah.
we can't hear you, Prof. Okay.
Okay, so even in talking of that, look at the consequences. The massacre in Zamfara, of farmers in Zamfara is not it's not only a security failure, it's an assault on Nigerian food supply. We saw what has been going on in the Middle Belt when they are displacing these people, always, burning down their houses, and most of them, 1 million plus of them, are in ID camps. And no effort of the government to return them back to their ancestral land. And then all of a sudden, Zamfara also. So now it's affecting the food supply, economy, and fundamental right of citizens to earn a living. They're not just farming, they're farming to earn a living. The fact that armed groups can openly threaten communities, enforce illegal farming bans, and carry out mass killing with effectiveness and nobody to save them. I'm so serious. This is so a shameful situation in our country. When farmers are too afraid to cultivate their land, the consequences extend far beyond affected communities. It is affecting the whole entire nation, the food supply.
But they won't agree. The present government and the supporters will tell us all of this is not true. We're making up stories. Professor Charles, can we hear you say something so we know if the audio is working? Oh dear, it's not working, Professor. Yes, we can't hear you. Yes. Yes, I was going to say something. So hold what you want to say, George. So I was going to talk about that emphasis you do make most times, that they are brothers, they are sympathizers. These people are we are in a hostage. We're held up. Nigeria is being held up. It's a raid. Yes, it's a raid, George. We are in a hostage situation. And I think it's only an external body that can help us. Not even the government, not even the security, not even the Navy, the Army, the military. None of that.
They cannot help us. They cannot, because they are complicit to the whole entire thing. Not all of them. Many of them are sympathizers, whether we like it or not. And let me tell you something that is driving these people. It's an ideology. It's an ideological training that they give to these young people.
So what's the ideology behind this?
The ideology is that they want to make Nigeria an Islamic state.
No, George. I don't agree with that, George. It's not true. They are killing Christians and Muslims together.
No, there are Muslims that don't agree with them. There are certain Muslims. You have the two different aspects. Two different groups.
Yes, you have two groups of Muslims. George, yes. I lived in the north.
Most of them do not agree with that particular forcing people.
No, George, it's not true. No, George, it's not true. Yes, there are two groups of Islamic religion. There are two, the Shiites and the other group, the Sunnis. Thank you. So, but it's not about this, George. George, it is that there is an enemy in our midst. The enemy is on one side, and we are on the other side. It's nothing to do with religion.
What is the enemy's motivation?
The enemy's motivation is greed, money, and no. Let me. I'm coming. I'm breaking it down now. Take note that federal government has taken off mineral resources extraction from the north. The government now controls most of the mineral resources, even though we've not gotten total control of it. So There are people that were benefiting from that before, and now it's been jacked off from them by the federal government. So they could be aggrieved. That's one group of people. Another group is because they know that this fetches instant wealth. This thing gives them money, like oil money too. So obviously, this is a lucrative business. This is crude oil business for them. This is human oil business for them. George, I tell you, it's nothing to do with Muslim or Christian. I know why I'm saying this. Most of these service chiefs that were arrested are Muslims. Some of the mosques, they burnt mosques last time. Remember, they burnt the mosques.
To me, listen. Okay, you got to have a fundamental ideological movement among these people.
But George, how do you think that they can Islamatize Nigeria, George?
Hold on.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
You gotta understand, their motive originally was to make sure that Nigeria is become a Muslim state. Listen to this. That might be one of the reasons why most of these young people are going out there to sacrifice their lives, is because of the same ideology. It's a religious teaching that everybody who is not a Muslim or doesn't follow your own type of Muslim religion is an infidel, and you have the right to, unalive them. So that's part of the thing that they're doing. Money is a side thing that they are now gaining. When they are getting this money, it becomes another added motivation. But fundamentally, part of the reason why they are doing this is simply because, and they train these children from childhood. That's why they hate Western education. That's why they're going to schools and arresting and kidnapping a lot of children, because they don't want Western education. But what is their Muslim education teaching them? That everybody who doesn't believe in the way they believe is an infidel, and you have the right to kill them.
All right, George. George, anyway, to an extent, I agree with you, because Boko Haram means it means no to Western education. But let's hear Professor Charles. It's so yes. Go ahead. Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Nice.
Okay.
Let me introduce you first, viewers. Like we say here, one thing we believe in is collaboration. We like to join forces together. We want to do things as one. So Nigerians in diaspora are a powerful group of people, and we encourage ourselves to play together in collaborating on content, on ideas, on production. So joining us from United States of America is my friend and big brother, Professor Charles Obaha. Am I correct? How do I spell? Obi. Oh, the H is silent. Okay. Yes. Professor Charles, you're welcome to SSM Between the Lines Monday program. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Massive. Nice to meet you, George. I know the last time we had technical snafu. It's there's so much happening today. Reading all the watching the videos, or whether it's all the social media, you don't even know what to believe anymore. But to the topic at hand, yes, I think we are told Boko Haram means no to Western education. But usually in the life of any human being, we are afraid of the unknown. Something that we don't know, we fear it very much. I think that in an attempt to deal with this type of ideology, this type of belief system, the best thing to do is to try to have a conversation with the people and share with them, tell them why it's not so bad. And I'm sure that the three of us here today can say it's not bad to have a Western education. There's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it will help liberate our minds, expose our thinking, and be able to tolerate each other. And I think the three of us here are from different ethnic groups in Nigeria. We're having a conversation here without a whole lot of biases. We may have our biases, but being able to tolerate each other, being able to listen to each other, I think we can solve a lot of problems. And I believe that is probably one thing that needs to be put on the table for the Boko Haram believers, and that is you cannot. I mean, Western education is not as bad as you think. So it might be a good thing to try it out, and let us hear each other out. Notice I'm talking about the people who believe so strongly in the ideology that Western education is bad. After all, Muslims and Christians talk to each other. They try to convince each other of their beliefs, but they put their beliefs aside and say, let's talk about the topic at hand. What is the issue? Why is it that you don't believe Western education? What is the problem you see with Western education? And I think that is one way to deal with this challenge that we've had in our country for years now. We've lost too many lives. We've lost too many innocent people. And now we are killing our generals, retired or active, in a very systematic way that is not good for any civilized society. And I think we have to condemn this type of behavior. We have to condemn this type of terror or terrorism that is happening across the land. Kids are not safe. They don't want to go to school because somebody simply believes this is not good for them. No, you can't make that choice for those who want to do it. If you don't want to believe that, if you believe that Western education is not good for the people, that is your belief, but you cannot impose that on other people who want to have Western education. There's no reason why they should go on a rampage killing innocent children, killing innocent teachers, killing all kinds of, killing all civilians, and even now killing military people. So yeah, that will be my comments on this. I think it's been going on for too long. We need to find a solution.
It's been going on for too long. We need to find a solution. But Prof, we also have said it here several times. George has been saying it. A lot of the sectors, most sectional parts of Nigeria and ministries and the government and all of those, it looks as if they have people planted there supporting and probably sabotaging the plans to stop this. George, you go ahead with those words you used to say.
I applaud what Professor Charles is saying. I applaud it very highly. But the question you have to ask yourself is, even within Christendom, a man was just recently arrested. That, he used to stay in the same place that I grew up on, the same street. Recently, he was just arrested. I think it was either this weekend, simply because he believed he was brainwashing a lot of young people. So you see, because this is how cults start. You start telling them, you put them together. You don't want them to go elsewhere. You don't want to join another group. You hijack them and begin to wash them with a certain ideology. And once they imbibe it, all of a sudden, when answers are coming to deliver them from such, you see them running back to the same place where they were. And that is exactly the same question that we are asking. Why is it that these people are not going to school? Because even most of the governors and most of the elite among the northerners are complicit in making sure that their children are not going to school. Because they believe that, okay, we are educated ourselves, or we're enlightened enough to lead you. You don't need to go to school. So you become subservient to us. That's exactly one of the things. You have to actually deliver these people from this stronghold, mental stronghold. Most of them did not go to school. Now they are in the bushes. They are now finding a way to make money. And they believe that is their Muslim constitutional right. You see Gumi saying we need to negotiate with them. We need to bring out an amount of money to give to these people. So these are people that are complicit to this type of ideology. They grew up with it because that's why they don't want Western education. If you give them Western education, they have option to think this or that. But because it's only one single way of thinking, which they have been brainwashed into, some of them, they believe that what they are doing is actually right. You cannot bring them and convince them otherwise. And that's why many Northerners are complicit and they are sympathizers of these people. So it would take a whole lot to change these people's mindset, to let them know that killing innocent citizens, you can't force anybody to join your religion.
And gentlemen, the interesting thing about somebody that is against education is he's probably using a means of technology to send that message out. These Boko Haram people use Snapchat, use all the social media, and they say the Western education is bad. Meanwhile, you're using products from Western education.
Isn't that hypocrisy?
Exactly.
Isn't that hypocrisy in the highest level? The hypocrisy in the highest level. You know,
Then even the arms they are using, the arms, the guns, all this comes from.
it's really.
But it's a sad thing that we lost viewers. It's a sad thing to note that we've lost two generals, retired general and the serving one that both died in the custody of these bandits. It's terrible, but progress is being made. Like we talked about the Omotekun, Professor Charles, these local security provision they are doing their best, even though it's little at their disposal for now, because the governors will jack up those security fund and they will use little for this kind of thing. But Amotekun in southwest Ondo were able to nab 97 of these rough guys that lives in the bush. I mean, they live in the forest. Who lives in the forest except you go for camping? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that is what Western education tells you, that those who live in the forest, if you go camping in the forest, but our culture says you can farm in the forest. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, if you Amotekun, I think the formation of Amotekun was a missed opportunity for the government to decentralize the police. I mean, granted, not every state, not every one of the 36 states could afford a police system. However, it would have been in the best interest of the nation for the government you talk about collaboration, to say, we will collaborate with the states. Those who can afford it, they should be able to afford it. Those who cannot afford it, we will give them the funds to start having their own police system. As a matter of fact, not only will they have their own security system, but it will also provide employment for a lot of the youth today who have no jobs. But unfortunately, because of some selfish politics, they did not support that idea. And I think I understand that the Congress has passed a law now. It's gone through the first or second reading, and they are waiting for the president to sign on to it. I mean, there is no better time than now for them to have to start talking about state police and local government police and the whole nine. We should have federal, state, and local government, and if there's any government smaller than local government, let that be there, because we are all used to that type of policing system. Because that is what brings, if you have a situation in, for example, say let's take a place like Igara in Akoko Edo, because I'm from Edo North. There's a situation there. It will take them days, if not months, for them to make a decision in Abuja to go and support them. But if they have a local police system in place, those people can go and try to quell whatever the situation might be. And if they need help, call for additional help from state headquarters or from other regional headquarters to curb some of these situations that we have. But I think the idea of just having everything concentrated in Abuja doesn't work anymore. Maybe it worked 20 years ago, maybe it worked 30 years ago, but not now. We have too many firefighting that needs to be done, and you need the police closer to the people. You need security forces closer to the people. It's not just enough to give the governor money. This is your security budget, but it cannot make security decisions. That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense to anybody. What happens? They squander their money. They don't use it for what it was supposed to be used for. And they are executive governors, all right, but they don't have power to make security decisions. And so, yes, state police is, I think it's overdue. Everybody knows that, but somebody has to have the will, not just the political will, but also have the courage to say, let's do it. So if the Congress has passed that law, I think hopefully the president will not have any problem signing on to it, to make sure that state policing is now the law of the land.
To make sure state policing is not the law of the land. And we look forward to the president signing that bill. We thank God that it has passed the second reading, because I thought the governors will really do some back end sabotage to stop it. Well, now it has passed through.
I mean, to be honest with you, when a story, we've been advocating for this for the past 2 years now.
Yes.
2 years. We've been crying over this. So now that is it's of public interest because of what this insurgency is doing to Nigeria. Anybody that comes out to come against it will look like a fool. So they know better. They will look like a fool, because it's like, if you're not going to allow the state police, what option do you have? What are you suggesting that we do with the insurgency that is happening? So I mean, personal interest is still existing. Most of them, it's just almost like when the government came out, when the president came out and said, I don't want the money going to the local government to be going through the governors. I want the local government to be receiving their money directly from us. So what happened was that many governors did not like that, because it will not give them autonomy to be able to control most of these local government people. They used to use that to manipulate them. So now that the money is going straight to them, they don't have those powers anymore. So now, exactly the same thing that is happening with state policing. There are so many things that can be curbed in order to save the money to develop this state policing. To be very frank with you, there are many places, loopholes, where they're stealing money. If they save that money, these people will be well taken care of. And even the military themselves, they need more money. They need more money. Because why is it that, these fat political cats, what they're doing, they give themselves, fat raises and give themselves all kinds of vehicles and all kinds of perks, but yet the people that are saving them, the people that are there dying daily because of, trying to, make sure that people are protected, they're not even feeding them. Look at what happened to Justice, or whatever his name is, who came out and was reporting that the military, they sent him some information that they were not being fed well. The government had to go and arrest them. Even the military themselves, are they not foolish? Somebody's fighting for you. So the ones on top are the ones complicit to all of this nonsense that is going on. That's the state of Nigeria and our mentality. We need to rebaptize ourselves and sanitize that nation so that people can begin to think right, honestly speaking.
Wow, strong words from you, gentlemen. Thank you. Let's move on to other issues. Because we are Nigerians in the diaspora, viewers following us, because we are Nigerians in the diaspora, we are more concerned about issues bordering on the citizens, because it affects us. Is that not so, Prof? It affects us. So let's look at cholera, cholera killing 5 people during the weekend in Plateau State in Jos. So it comes down to water. It comes down to no dirty water. But I mean, we imagine Nigeria is surrounded by George. Nigeria has these vast water resources, and we're surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, Lake Chad, and all of this. Yet people don't have access to clean water. People live in environments where there are unprotected sources and vulnerable water diseases that kills them. Let's talk about this, gentlemen. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, before I talk about that, I also wanted to say that about 3-4 years ago, there's an organization which you are familiar with, a massive Collaborative Council of Nigerians in the Diaspora. We submitted a recommendation to the Senate on how to, in fact, we were talking about this state policing because we were addressing the question of restructuring. State policing was one of those topics that we addressed in that submission that we gave to the Senate. At that time, the gentleman who's trying to come back to the Senate now, Omo Agege, was the Deputy Senate President at the time. Yeah, we submitted a report, our recommendations on what restructuring should look like and how the police system should be handled, or should be divided between the federal and the state and local government. Now, on the question of cholera, I mean, you're right. I mean, we are always very concerned. It's unfortunate that some lives have to be lost now for that to draw attention. We're in 2026. Okay, we're in 2026. So we have been independent for 60 plus years. We are still talking, politicians go on campaign and talk about how they are going to give people boreholes. Boreholes. That is what we are still talking about in 2026 when people are now talking about going to live on the moon. They are talking about taking data centers to the moon. We are talking about boreholes. And then, when the boreholes break down, I mean, the people. I mean, all you have to do is look at most video clips that come from that country. When you look at the material used for the zinc for the roofs, the zinc, you see how rusty they are. I mean, that is the water people are drinking when the rain comes. I mean, that we are running around in bulletproof vehicles and we cannot provide basic water system for the people. I think it's unconscionable. The healthcare system of our country, everybody knows. Even our grandmothers know how bad it is, and and for people to be losing their lives to cholera in 2026 should not be happening in a place like Nigeria. And so the healthcare officials, whether it's Minister of Health or Commissioner for Health, whoever they might be, I mean, I'm not a healthcare professional, but I do know that simple hygiene can prevent cholera from happening. Simple, very simple hygiene. People don't have that. They don't have roads, they don't have schools. I mean, we all know the issues. We all know the issues. But we also know the solutions to these issues. But does somebody have the courage to say we are going to budget to attack this particular problem on a given time, on a given year, without playing politics with the lives of human beings, with the lives of the citizens that they are supposed to protect? I mean, when something like this happens, of course, there's a whole lot of killing going on in that part of the country. And so the environment is dirty, the water is dirty. You never can be sure even human beings, human remains are going to even thinking about what they might be drinking right now, massive. It's so unbelievable that we are allowing this to happen in our country in 2026.
See,
Yeah. Okay, George, go ahead. I wanted to. Okay, go ahead, George. Yes, I wanted to let our viewers know that it happened in Plateau State, and that was that's a diagram, aerial view, graphic view of Plateau State, Middle Belt, Nigeria. So cholera is ravaging them there now, killing them, and we know what the source. I mean, how cholera forms: dirty environment, dirty water, bad water system, and all of that. George, go ahead, please.
You see, when we talk about leadership, we think leadership is just about making noise. We think leadership is just about, oh, we're going to change the economy. Leadership is more involved. Is the involvement of leadership is so deep. It talks about family affairs, welfare of the people, the balanced necessities of life. If allowed, Nigeria will start to sell oxygen for people to breathe in. This oxygen that is free. If they find a way to take it away so that people will buy to survive, it will be sold. But this is something, the fundamentals of human existence, the fundamental welfare, just roads, regular water. Go to some of these countries. I went to Ghana. I was in Ghana in 1999. I was so surprised to see what was going on in that place. I stayed there for 2 weeks. Immediately I came to Lagos, the whole entire thing changed. And I'm like, what? A country of how many million people versus us? So you see, what it is no accountability in government. See, a dead fish when it starts sinking from the head. If the head is corrupt and the head is not actually going after people that are corrupt, what do you expect if you see your leadership, making all kinds of stupid decisions in order for money to go into their own pocket? You that are serving them will find a way to get your own. That's exactly what is happening in Nigeria. No accountability. They are responsible, but not accountability. So if money is missing, even snakes are swallowing money in Nigeria. Just think about the fundamental things that they can provide for the nation. For the nation.
Fundamental things
Now
they can
listen to
provide.
this though. Okay, now
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Zamfara State, is beginning to dawn on us because of food insecurity.
Yeah.
That what is happening in the Middle Belt is affecting the whole entire nation. We're talking about importing rice, importing this, and importing that. If there is safety and security in our nation, the Middle Belt would have been feeding the whole West Africa. But right now we are, depending on other nations to import food to us. That is it's so sad. But the worst part of it?
Mhm.
Tomorrow we give excuses for all the leaders that are making this whole entire thing worse than what it is. We give excuses because they're from our area. We don't talk
Affiliations.
bad about them, which is tribal, or religion. These are the things we need to tear down those walls. Let's all look in the same direction together. Let's get a Nigerian leader who cares about the common man and care about them so much so that they will give their life to make sure that everybody is comfortable in this country. Because to them, they don't care. They have their bulletproof cars. They are going around. They don't need anything. They have boreholes with water sanitizers and water purifiers in their houses. Who
Can you
cares about
imagine?
the people on the road? That's the problem we have in our nation. It is about time for us to start holding our leaders, accountable to whatever they're doing wrong. Cry out for it until it opens their ears and they will hear it by force. That's the only
Cry
way.
out to it until they open their ears. All right, gentlemen, viewers, we're here on this 15th day of June 2026. I'm here with Professor Charles. I'm here with Sir George from Toronto, Canada, Professor Charles from the United States. Gentlemen, we can't do Between the Lines if we don't do some international updates too. As much as we are passionate about our country, there are also issues happening around us that could affect us too. One of such is Trump announcing the U.S. and Iran peace deal. Do we see this happening this time, Prof? Do we see this peace deal coming to pass this time? Trump announced a peace deal with Iran, and we hope it will end all hostility and reopen the key global oil routes, the Straits of Hormuz, like they call it. Prof, what do you have on that? What's your views on Iran-U.S. peace deal?
Well, I think I'm like most people. We have not seen the fine print.
We sit on the look.
Exactly. Now sit down, look we there because we don't know what the next tweet go be.
Okay.
So on a more serious note, I think it's great to hear that this is happening because obviously we see the impact of the war, the impact of what has been going on, not just from when you go to buy a gas, because that's where you feel it first, because the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and so no oil literally is coming in. And so the price of gasoline has gone up through the roof, which translates to food prices will go up, which translates to food cost of heating. It's very hot right now. It is very, very hot right now. The temperatures have been going through the roof the last few days, which means everybody is turning up their AC in the house, which means by the time they get their bills at the end of the month, it's going to be overheated. And so these are all like a domino effect. As a result of this war that has been going on, we're all dealing with all these. It's a global phenomenon. It's a global issue, but more so here at home, we are dealing with it. And so everybody's holding their breath. Hope that this we hold, because there appears to be some hurdles that need to be crossed before the final deal is done. The immediate ones, I guess we're just going to be watching to see how they become, how they take effect. Because I say that with all sense of respect for the people who negotiated all of this, but we know that we have seen what happened between Israel and the rest of the Middle East in the past. We have peace talk today. There's peace. It will stay for like a few days, and then they start all over again. But so we don't know how this is. We hope it's a lasting one. That's what I would say, and it will be a welcome change because we need to have a little bit of peace.
We need a little bit of peace.
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead, George.
Now, you see, one of the major issues that we are facing is, and the advantage we have right now is the political pressure on Trump because his rating is the lowest ever. And now, pressure is on him because this war was not started because of Trump and Iran. It was started because Benjamin Netanyahu convinced Trump that these people were about to, just to blast them out of the earth. And then he went in. So when he discovered that that was not so, he got upset at Benjamin Netanyahu. And then the pressure on him right now, economically, in the nation, is really weighing heavily on him. So he's desperate. Iran knows it. And we are hoping that the fine lines of this deal will be better than the ones we had before. You understand? So hopefully, because he desperately needs something to take place, because the pressure is on him locally. And then, and then when you come to weigh the reason why he went to war in the first place, the reasons are not being given. It's not being visible that, what they were alleging, like Iraq war, was true. So, but to a degree, these people need to be crippled.
To a degree, they need to be crippled.
Iraq needs to be crippled.
Yes.
Because they don't think like us.
They
don't care. That small leadership there, there, I guess maybe the 7 virgins that are waiting them when they die is what's motivating them to come and begin to, think, just unthinkables.
Unthinkables.
They're thinking things that are not even, me and you will be wondering what is wrong with them. And they don't care. So they are supporting Hezbollah. They are supporting the Hamas. They are supporting and sponsoring all these people, all in the name of eliminating Israel. What did these people? What? Nothing. And I thank God for the U.S. because if the U.S. was not supporting Israel, these people would have wiped them away for the longest. So I believe that a deal is visible.
Okay.
It's just out of reach. It's not out of sight anymore because the people are suffering too. Although that they're making it like they're not suffering. Now, recently Trump just released the secret that they have taken a lot of shiploads of oil from Iran. So he just said it on Friday.
He just said it. Yes.
Yeah. So
all right,
So what we are saying is this: let there be peace and let there be a deal, so the world can take a breather over this mess that is going on.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Beautiful words there, gentlemen. Our time is going very fast, but we need to just talk about this to wrap it up. The UK. I don't know if you gentlemen followed the news just some few hours ago. The UK Prime Minister Starmer says under 16. Will be banned from TikTok, YouTube, and other social handles by next spring, 2027. So social media will be banned for children under 16 in the United Kingdom. It's spreading now. You remember it started with Australia and it moved to one country again. Now it's coming to Europe, UK. Gentlemen, let me start with Prof. Is this a good way to go? We heard and we saw parents, numbers of parents that lost their children in the past 6, 7, 8 years due to some challenges they do. They do all these challenges on social media and due to peer pressures coming from social media, due to so many things. So what do you think this could look like for social media, Prof?
Well, okay, well, thank you. I think that I've not seen. I think I saw the headline that TikTok is being banned for kids under 16.
Mhm.
I have a. I'm a parent of. I have a 17-year-old in the house. Well, the brother is 19 now. I used to make sure that whatever they watch online, I had a little bit of control. They could not go to certain sites without me giving them the permission to do that. I think that if parents are concerned about what their children see online, absolutely, they can complain to the authorities. And it appears that TikTok did not have controls in place. I mean, there are other social media providers, Facebook, for example, or Meta, or Instagram, and others. They have certain categories of functionalities or features that are available to different age groups. And so, if what TikTok allows to permeate the society in these different countries seems to harm a certain segment of the population, I think it's in the best interest of the kids to make sure that they are protected. And any responsible government will do exactly what these are doing to make sure that their children, they are not losing their children to bad habits, or they are not losing their children to uh, violence, if you will, and more importantly, they are not losing their children to bad influence. And so I would imagine that they have done some due diligence to make sure that before they put this type of law in place, it's to the best interest of the population, the segment of the population that is be protected, 16 and under. And so I think yeah, a responsible government would do that.
Okay. Responsible government would do that. George, what do you have?
Yeah. I mean, this policy may be controversial, but its
Okay.
positive intent is very clear.
Okay.
I mean, protecting children from harmful online contents, addictive algorithms, and dangerous challenges is something that government needs to do, because if during their making and their making stages, when they are
Mhm.
growing, if you allow them, if their way there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. And that's exactly what has been happening. You see a lot of kids, they stay in their room and they do a whole lot of things. They don't even want to come out to their parents anymore. In those days when we used to go to school, when your parents come back home, everybody will come and have dinner together. You eat and then you watch TV together. It's no longer that way. Most children these days, they don't even want to hang around their parents. They want to stay in their rooms. They want to take their food to their rooms. They eat in their rooms, and they do a lot of things in their rooms. But with this type of, limitations being put on them to freely and free willingly go to all these content providers like Instagram and the rest of them, it might help them. But they don't see it that way. You know, if implementation alongside stronger digital literacy and safer online platform, it could create a healthier balance between the technology, learning, and real world social development for young people. So, this is what we are looking for. I applaud the nations that are doing this, because when they find out that most of their children, all of a sudden, something will happen, the parents are not aware of it, and these children will kill themselves because somebody is either bullying them or somebody is suggesting to them that them taking their lives is the best way to go, and there is no contact or no communication between the parents to know where all this susceptibility to external influence is coming from. So that is exactly the reason why the government, I applaud UK government for doing this. I think it's a positive move.
Yes, as much as we are very much into the media business, technology, and all of this, I think there should be some level of sanity, control. Yes, do you know that there are sites where people commit suicide and they will give link to watch them commit suicide? Can you imagine? People, you'll be watching somebody killing himself or herself live. And a lot of terrible things too. A lot gory things, barbaric. It's all out there. So having control over all this. What I will add to what the Prime Minister said is not just on social media, the usage of internet generally. There are too many graphic and explicit places young people should not be visiting. Gentlemen, I want to thank you. Prof, is there anything we need to know from your end? The World Cup, are you a football man? How is the World Cup going? Do we need something?
Have you ever seen a Nigerian that doesn't like football?
Okay, there we go. So give us the update.
I played football growing up. I played football in college. I captained the African team in my school days. And after I left college, I still play in local teams, and I coached after I was too young to play. I was helping the youth. So it's been an exciting time. I've watched a couple of matches. I watched South Korea game. I was very impressed by their determination and their and they won. I watched the USA versus Paraguay. Paraguay was just no match. That was so now you cannot include US as a possible outlier, a favorite, maybe. I know that's a stretch. I did not see the Ivory Coast match.
That's a stretch.
I heard about it, but I was a little bit taken aback by the performance of Brazil. It seemed like they came out to play for a tie, and a tie is what they got.
And a tie is what they got.
Yeah, even though everybody is thinking Brazil, it's going to be Spain, or it's going to be France, maybe Canada may bubble up somewhere. I don't know. They had a good team in the last time, but they just could not win. But now they've scored their first goal. So that's a big deal. Netherlands tied. So it's still very early, but this is a time. We stay up late and watch the games, and so but it's happening here, and so there's not a whole lot of staying up late. It's an exciting time. So unfortunate, I'll say this. It's unfortunate that not all the countries are allowed to play because of some of the things that are going on. But it is what it is. But there are enough matches to go around, and so it's going to be an exciting time to keep watching all these games.
Nice. Yeah, please keep giving us the update from your end, but you're right there.
I shall.
I know. Before we came on stream, Cape Verde and Uruguay played, and I think it was a draw. Yes, before we came on stream. Okay. Sir George, you have some games going on.
Yes. We have a game, but I'm going to talk about another one. My love is basketball. I love soccer, but I also love basketball. So this past weekend, the New York Knicks actually, took the championship, and our young brother OG Anunoby was one of the prominent ones there. So we applaud him very highly. Nice. I met him when he was in Toronto a few times. He's such a wonderful young man, and then this is his second ring. He's an Igbo boy, He's an Igbo boy. Big boy.
It's a Nigerian.
We applaud him very highly. A Nigerian. Yeah, his brother plays regular football, American football. And it's very unfortunate that the parents were not alive to see him, reach this milestone. It would have been a wonderful one indeed. But congratulations, New York Knicks. And, we applaud you guys for taking and bringing this thing to the East instead of leaving it to the West. So we're happy.
So Sana, the Warriors, my son loves the Warriors because of Curry. And so when Warriors were out, San Antonio became our team.
Okay.
So they could have won, but New York was more hungry. They deserved it. They showed a lot of grit, a lot of
they are more mature team.
Yes. And now that you're plugging some of the Nigerians who are shining, for the U.S. team, Folarin Balogun scored 3 goals, but one was disallowed.
Okay.
So he ended up with 2 goals. So there you go.
Mm.
If all these kids were coming home to play for Nigeria, can you imagine what
will happen?
powerhouse we have there? But you have a lot of bad managers in the country, and
Bad managers.
you know, so
Someday we'll come, maybe on before the World Cup runs, we will come talk about sports and how it affects Nigeria, how we can, changes and all of that. Let's talk about this before this period. Just sports, all of those sports, how bad management have really ruined. Like, we not being in the World Cup is unheard of. You know,
terrible.
It's unheard of.
Terrible.
So, but gentlemen, I want to thank you, viewers. This is it. We've been here talking between the lines this 15th day of June, and we have our new great man there, Professor Charles from the United States, and Sir George.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank
you. So, till we come again Wednesday. Wednesday is African Affairs, and it's 12 o'clock Nigerian time. Hopefully, we'll be here. So until then, have a beautiful week. God bless you.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Yes.